And welcome back to another First Alert Weather Extra, where we're tracking a big warm-up that starts today, and we'll really notice that warmer weather later on this afternoon and especially over the weekend. We'll have the full weekend forecast and what lies beyond in just a few minutes. But for now, we already have a milder start to our morning, with temperatures already climbing into the 60s, including 61 in Oakdale, 63 in Jennings, to 68 degrees already over into Sulphur. If we click on some of the data, you can make out those southerly winds. That's why we have that warm-up, because continued southerly winds have arrived and will continue to remain in place. Meanwhile, if we take a look around the region, with the satellite here, well, you can notice that we had a few clouds to start the day at sunrise, but most of that is north of Interstate 10. And as we head into the rest of the day, I think we'll have a lot of sunshine. That too should warm things up. So, as we head into the morning, here's how things are looking. We'll go throughout the rest of the morning here. Featurecast is doing a pretty good job with our temperatures so far, and we'll continue that warm up to the low 70s even by around lunchtime today. We'll turn even warmer than that as we head into the late afternoon. So mid to upper 70s is likely for most locations, and I think it's not out of the question. A few areas north of Interstate 10 could end up near or maybe even just above 80 degrees in a couple of spots, especially in Vernon, Beauregard, and Allen parishes. So overall, it's going to be a nice, pleasant afternoon to enjoy if you do have any outdoor activities. And even tonight, temperatures are not going to drop as much. We were down to the low to mid 40s this morning. Tomorrow morning, I think we only drop to the mid to low 50s. So about a 5 to 10 degree temperature change tomorrow morning. Still a bit cool early on, but you may just need a sweater rather than a jacket early on, and of course, you won't need that in the afternoon as things quickly warm on up, probably getting closer to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. The reason for that is high pressure. We've been talking about it the past few days. That continues to slide off to the east. We'll have more southerly winds, and that's why things are going to warm up into the weekend. Here is the weekend forecast with plenty of sunshine, temperatures near 80 degrees tomorrow, and probably into the low 80s Saturday into Sunday. And again, our inland communities north of I-10 could easily be a couple degrees warmer than that. So a warm weekend for sure, but overall a pleasant one again for any outdoor plans you may have. But at the same point, we do need rain at some point soon. That's just not in the cards as of yet, because high pressure is still going to control the pattern. I have the surface high pressure outlined here just along the northern Gulf Coast. That's going to supply the southerly winds, but you'll notice the jet stream is displaced well north of the area early next week, and that's because of the presence of an upper level high pressure system. And what that does is cause air to sink towards the surface, and that's why we'll get that warm. And also, it's going to hinder our rain chances. Now, some models want to bring in a weaker cool front later next week and maybe spark a couple of showers. Even if that were to take place, obviously far from a guarantee, I don't think we would be talking about any sort of appreciable rain, and this model does tend to show that pretty well. So the bottom line here is that it is a warm and dry pattern shaping up. Here are those temperatures into the week. Low to mid 80s starting tomorrow through the weekend, and pretty much for the middle and possibly even late part of next week, unless we do get that front to move in. I don't see any real cool down, at least in the next 7 days. Now, again, those rain chances stay pretty low. Maybe a little bit of an uptick next Thursday into Friday if we do have a weak front try to get here. Unfortunately, that's not enough to really make a dent in the drought. Speaking of, here is the latest update from the U.S. Drought Monitor released today, and even with some recent rains that we had, especially over the weekend with that front that moved on through, We have a large swath of the area, at least in the abnormally dry category. Pretty much everybody north of Cameron Parish, and level 1, the moderate drought, still extends into Vernon, Beauregard, and much of Calcasieu and northern Jeff Davis parishes. And the drought gets even worse if you were to go farther off to the north and east, where we have a severe drought. The level a severe drought from northern Vernon Parish up into northern parts of the state, and an extreme drought from Alexandria off to the north and east. Fortunately, we're not that bad in southwest Louisiana, but again, it is just a sign that we do need the rain at some point soon. Meanwhile, as we head into the next few days here, looks like my camera decided just to freeze me there. It's all right. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Let's take a look at the 10-day forecast real quickly. Again, sunny and warmer today and turning even warmer for the weekend. Again, the bad part of the forecast is the lack of rain, but the benefit to that for weekend plans is that I don't see any sort of weather-related issues, which is a good thing. So we'll continue to warm things up. We'll warm things up at night as well. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up the temperatures in the 50s. Friday night and Saturday morning only dropping down to around 60 for a low. So no matter how you look at it, a warming trend is getting underway, which continues well into next week. But that wraps things up for this edition of First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton will be back here in the evening for starting on TV at 4, and he will have the evening edition of First Alert Weather Extra as well. But that wraps things up for this morning. Have a great day.